Page 72, this is a study. This lesson is about cadence chords, or what this book calls cadence chords. A cadence is a chord progression that's usually at the end of a phrase. There's all kinds of cadences. You can Google cadence and read all about them. I just play the notes as they come. At the top of page 73, they talk a little bit about what a period and a sentence and a cadence and all that is. Okay. And then they say the principal triads. Well, other method books call them the primary chords. Same difference. A triad is a chord, a three-note chord. Principal and primary, basically the same thing. It's just that in every key, there are three chords that are used the most. And they're generally the ones used in cadences. Now, this book says they're built on degrees. The first, the fourth, and the fifth degrees can be confusing if you're not used to that terminology. So let's talk about it. Let's look at C major. C major, we use C major because it's the white keys. There's no sharps or flats in C major. C to C, all the white keys. Every step in that scale, every note in the scale, we call them steps, notes. They call them degrees. Every degree or step or note is numbered. So, 8 is the same as 1. So we go 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could say the first degree is the first step, which is the first note in here, which is a C in C major. The fourth degree, or the fourth step, we count up. The one you're on is 1. We don't start with 0. We start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the fourth degree, or fourth step. And the fifth is one more up. So 1, 4, and 5. So the chords are built on those steps or degrees. A chord, triad, three-note chord, every other note in the scale. That's a one chord because it's built on step 1 or first degree 1, whatever, of the key. You can rearrange it, doesn't matter. I could go here, I put the C on top or the E on top, doesn't matter. It's still a one chord. When the chord is in this arrangement, every other note in the scale, the bottom note tells you the name of the chord. It's got to be in this arrangement, because when I put it in this arrangement, there's two notes here, so that doesn't work. So you got to fix it so it's in one note in between, and then the bottom note tells you the name of the chord. So this is a C chord. Now this is a C chord all the time. Doesn't matter what the key signature is or what scale you're using or whatever. This is always a C chord, because it's a triad built on C. But in the key of C major, this is a one chord, because it's built on step 1, or the first degree 1. Well, same thing with the others. 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, every other note in the scale. So that would be the 4 chord in C major. If you're using numbers, it's relative to whatever key you're in. But if you'll notice, the bottom note here's an F. So this is an F chord. And it's always an F chord. Doesn't matter what key it's in, it's an F chord. If we go one more for the 5, every other note. Now that's a 5 chord in C major, or a G chord, because G is the bottom note. And those are the primary chords in C major, or the principal, what they call them. But the 1, the 4, and the 5. Wherever, doesn't matter where you play them. It doesn't matter what arrangement you play them in. For the 5 chord, I could have gone a D, a B, and a G. That's the same note, names, that's the G chord. It's just a different arrangement. It's a little harder to figure it out. You have to bring them together. So put the G down here, and then you put the D up here, and then you can see, oh, okay, I'm using the same note names. I just rearranged them to figure out the name of the chord. Now it's a G chord. I can see it's a G chord. They also call them tonic, subdominant, and dominant, just in case you're not confused enough. You see all the steps of a scale in addition to the number. They have names. Now, whether or not you learn the names or not, that's up to you. You may run into them, at least if you have an idea what they are, then you have an idea of what somebody's talking about or what you're reading. So just briefly, the tonic is 1. The tonic of any key is step 1. Now I don't go here like a G chord and I say the tonic is G. That doesn't work. It's not the bottom note of a chord. It's the first step of a scale, a key. 1, tonic. And then if I go up to 5, that's the dominant of the key. And 4 is the subdominant. You go down 1. So it's the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant. All right. So now you sort of know what those are. This study uses those chords in a broken or an arpeggiated pattern. If you take a look at it just briefly, it goes over to the next page too. There's like 7 lines total on this thing. Treble, bass, clef, 6/8 time signature. We're in the key of C major, by the way. So go ahead and be doing the scale for C major and A minor and the arpeggios too and all that junk. Okay. Now we're doing, if you look at the first 3 notes, it's here. It's a C chord. C chord. Next measure, well, they put the C on top. It's still a C chord. And again, they inverted it. Again, when I turn it over, I invert it. And then here, that's all they did. They just broken chords. That's all that's for. Play it at any speed you want to, doesn't matter. But as you're playing as I'm playing this, I'm moving this. I'm getting it in position. And as I'm playing this, I'm moving this. So I'm moving one hand as I'm playing the other. That way I'm right where I need to be, and it's a steady beat. Second line, you got the F chord. Third line, G chord. Okay, and then back here. It just went through the 1, 4, 5, 1 sequence, chord sequence, which you'll find in a lot of cadences. Now on page 73, they do the same thing, but now it's in C minor. Well, in C minor, you take the middle note of the chord and you just lower it 1. So a C minor is here, an F here, and a G, take that. It's G minor. So we got C minor, F minor, G minor, and that's all they're doing on 73. How you finger them, I'll leave that up to you for this little, I don't care. I mean, some people don't want to fit up in here. In that case, you got to do that. Now, the last line on page 73, you're back to major again. And then you get the block chords. The 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 1 chord. Normally in music, they will put the Roman numerals, which is used to identify a chord number. They'll put it under the bottom staff at the bottom. There's too much other stuff going on between the staffs, so we just normally would put it at the bottom. And when you are using chord numbers, like the 1, the 4, and the 5, when in music, if we identify them, we use Roman numerals. We got a lot of numbers in music, so I had to figure out something, so they used Roman numerals for this. Now, at the bottom of page 73, they give you other cadences. You got the 1, the 5, 1, in different inversions. Okay. Go across, then we have the same thing, but in C minor. Harmonic minor. Because C minor has a B flat in it, but harmonic minor, you'd raise that up to a B natural. That's the minor I cover in the scale video for C minor. But for this exercise, I recommend you stick with the key signature. So rather than C major and C minor, it would be C major and A minor, because they both have the same key signature, no sharps or flats. Second line, it's a 1, 4, 1. Different kind of cadence. And then next to that is the minor for it. Okay, Okay, and the last, they do all of them here. 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. Okay, I kind of mix these up a little bit, but I'm still using those chords. And I'm ending on a 1 chord. That's the key. You don't really have to start on a 1 chord, but you need to end on a 1 chord for most cadences. It resolves the harmony. Let's play the study together very slowly just to check the notes and all. How you finger it is up to you. Rhythm-wise, they're mostly eighth notes. Each one gets a count. So I'll give us 6 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. Two, three, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tie. 2, 3, rest. 6.